This Costa Rican hot sauce is going to be nothing compared to the fire that we're going to start dropping on this video. Because for the last couple of years, I've actually been noticing that everybody likes to talk about outreach, inbound marketing, they want to start creating content, but nobody talks about how to actually create a real community around your brand and around your offer. And this is in such a way that people can get to know, like, and trust you without you having to be mindlessly running retargeting ads or creating email marketing campaigns, etc. And guys, the solution that we found for this is what we call the community funnel. In this video, I want to literally give for free everything when it comes to how to actually set up, grow, engage, then of course monetize your community funnel, your Facebook group. So let's hop to a computer and let's get started right away. As I always like to say, you can get access to this document by joining my free Facebook group over here, going to the master resource folder, and then simply commenting Drive so that you can get access to this document plus all of the other documents that I use for my YouTube videos. But that being said, before I hop into the actual high-level strategy and how to go around it, in case that you're still not convinced, I want to go over why I believe that every coach or agency owner should build a community funnel. I know that a lot of people can talk about the Facebook group strategy and everybody is growing a Facebook group, but you might be like, okay, but what's the purpose of building a Facebook group or having a community in the first place? If you are one of those people, I want to go over a list of points on why you should have your own community. And it doesn't matter if you're just getting started, it doesn't matter if you're advanced, it doesn't matter if you don't have an audience, because I'm going to show you free and paid options to grow this community in such a way that you can get quick cash from the deals that you will land from the new members that get in your group, and for people that either didn't buy from you or that are not willing even to book a call for whatever reason, so that you can have a centralized hub where you can nurture them to do business later on. So why should every agency or high ticket info business owner build a community funnel? Well, really simple, guys. Like, first of all, you're able to work longer conversion windows. Because you've been in business for more than a minute, you will notice that sometimes you start with conversations with somebody, that person decides to hop on a call with you, and they might even end up buying. But realistically, a lot of people require a little bit more time to make a purchasing decision. Because at any given time, as they like to say, only 3% of people are going to be willing to buy from you. What matters is that, of course, you want to leverage the 3% of people that are ready to buy because that's where you have your highest leverage. But you want to make sure that the other 97% of people that are not willing to buy from you now get nurtured, reminded of you, because what can happen is that a lot of people, you're going to do all of the marketing, you're going to be able to take all the steps for somebody to fall in love with the solution that you have for them. But if you're not always on top of mind, they're going to buy from another competitor, and then you're going to lose that lead. So that's why you always need to be nurturing and marketing to this 97% of people. And of course, historically, people have been saying, hey, you should be using email marketing, you should be creating content, you should have your YouTube channel. But honestly, you're never going to have as higher conversions as if you actually grab these people, you put them inside of a place where you can have one-on-one interactions via DMs, plus actual one-to-many interactions, like creating content every single time you post, and like you would do on a community. Also, you can have a centralized lead nurturing hub. And this works it's more powerful than email, mostly because on email you get, of course, an email blast that is obviously meant for everyone, number one. And number two, you just get letters. Yeah, you can attach some images in there, but nobody actually going to go to the email and be like, hey, I want to have a conversation with Enrique just because he sent me an email. When you have a Facebook group, you can have comments in there, you have a picture, you have a post, the people that like or that comment on the post, you can send them a direct one-on-one DM so that you can have conversations with them. So you can see how conversions are through the roof if you actually start growing your community. On top of that, you have both one-to-many engagement via posts or one-to-one conversions via DMs. And of course, you have more opportunities for conversations because every time that somebody joins, for example, without me moving a finger, thanks to the content that I'm doing from YouTube, you guys can see that in the last week alone, we've been able to grow by 45 new members. So if I wanted to, I can just DM 45 people that know, like, and trust me already because they come from my YouTube content. I allow them inside of my Facebook group. We'll show you in a bit like the actual setup and how you can really have absurd conversions. But I tag them on a work compose. These people are my highest leverage form of leads, right? Because these are people that basically have an end in mind when it comes to joining this community, etc., right? So I could have more opportunities for conversions because typically people just say, hey, you do outreach, people book or not, and that's it. When in reality, when you have your community, yeah, you have more opportunities because it's every time you get a new member, you can do follow-ups to new members. Every time somebody engages, whenever somebody comments on one of your posts, people that have more than 1 year in your community, you can reach out to them and simply say, hey, it's been 1 year since you joined, happy to have you with us, by the way, etc. you have a lot of touch points and you have a lot of opportunities. So the more time you have your community, the better it gets. So that's another reason. You also become a category of one because there can be a lot of Facebook ad agencies for e-commerce brands, but how many do you know that have a 2,000 Facebook group all about clothes and apparel brands, and that have special resources specifically for X type of brands? For example, of course, they can work for anything. How many fitness coaches do you know that actually have a Facebook group where they go live once per week and they do pretty much free coaching for people that are struggling with losing weight, for example? And that's where you start becoming a category of one, because it's not only about your niche and about your offer, it's also about the messaging, the positioning, and about what the sales messaging you actually showcase to your prospects feels like. This is also the most leveraged client acquisition model you can have, period, because you are the authority immediately. Because when you are doing a one-to-one DM to somebody on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, whatever it might be, you are basically having a conversation with someone that is on the same level to you, okay? Instead, when somebody asks to join your community, you are immediately the authority. You're always a step ahead because people are requesting to join. You are always the leader. You're always the one that is in control of everything. So the framing is completely different. So that would be number one. Also, when set up correctly, and we'll explain this on the video, you don't have to do pretty much anything to get leads. Also, you can easily delegate this to an appointment setter MBA so that you don't basically have to do pretty much anything with this community. Anytime you post or there's any form of engagement in the group, everyone else in the group can get reminded of you or your offer, because that's the beauty. You can see here, for example, that this post that I made almost 1 year ago still gets comments, still gets engagement because people like it. So I don't ever have to be creating more content, because the right pieces of content are going to do the entire nurturing and the entire conversion of the leads for me. So that's another huge perk of actually having this community funnel. And here's the beauty, like, because this person actually made a comment in here, the new members that for whatever reason might have not seen that post are able to now see that post. You don't have to be creating more and more content if you actually do the things right. The other thing is that if you actually really use a community funnel as a community, not only as a sales asset, which of course you can use it just as a sales asset if you wanted to, but if you actually use it as a community, you can get clients when you want, not when you need. Why? Because let's say that, and let me just give you the best example I can give you, which is mine. If I, for 1 year straight, wanted to keep up this growth of 45 people per week, that would be, let's say, 100 people every 2 weeks. That would be 200 people per month. 200 people in 10 months will be 2,000 people. Imagine that once per year, I just wanted to make one post about, hey, I'm looking for agency owners looking to do XXX. Guys, out of 2,000 people, don't you think that even 1% of people are going to comment? And that 1% is still 20 people. Guys, you can literally make clients whenever you want. And if you actually top this with a content marketing strategy, with an appointment setting strategy, and you actually just focus on repurposing your content from YouTube to this community, it's pretty much game over at that point. And listen, this is like me having pretty much no followers. So if I can do this, you can do this, okay? Your community is the website, and your structure plus content marketing is your BSL. Because people say nowadays that everybody needs to have a BSL, everybody needs a website, a landing page, a free lead magnet in the front end of their business, etc. But guys, the entire community, in this case the Facebook group, in itself is a website. Why? Because people can come here, they can nurture by the content, you can ping some posts in here about what your offer is about, you can have resources in here, you can have a start here well composed so that people know what everything is about, you can have engagement in here. So this is even better than a website. And actually, as Cole Gordon says, the group funnel or the community funnel is way more forgiving than a typical BSL book a call funnel. Why? Because people, when they join your group, they get constantly nurtured by your content, by everything that you do, so that you don't have to be always either making sure that you close the leads or you lose them, because people are always staying on the loop. That's the beauty. And of course, it's cheaper, more engaging, higher conversions, and yeah, pretty much superior in every way, shape, or form. You can easily get to 20-30K per month organically using different strategies from the community funnel alone. And then you can channel your paid ads traffic to the group, and you have a rock solid conversion mechanism that by that point will be, of course, hybrid, because it's not uncommon for people to get, like I was saying, 20-30K per month to organically just from the community funnel, okay? If this didn't solve you into the idea that you need a community funnel, I don't know what will, but trust me, it's the best decision you can have regardless of where you're at in your journey. Now, where should you host your community funnel? I'll be honest, guys, like we recommend Facebook groups, like we ourselves, again, we have a Facebook group in here, but You can also use things such as Telegram chats, WhatsApp groups, school communities, Discord, or pretty much any place where people can hang out for free and you can control the pacing of the community. As long as those two elements are in there, then you can pretty much use anything. But again, Facebook groups for various reasons that I'm going to go over right now, I think that is just way superior to in that sense, okay? Thus far, we've only seen the actual convincing me trying to let you know why you should have a community. But let's start talking now about the more actionable stuff into how to set up, grow, engage, and monetize your community, okay, guys? Now, in regards to the setup and the structure, I want you guys to think about what's the group intention and the micro niche, because the name of your community is really important. Because let's say that you're creating YouTube videos or you're just manually inviting people organically to join your Facebook group, and your Facebook group is called Enrique's Facebook group. Chances are that not that many people are going to join, right? Instead, let's say that you're running a recruitment sales agency for tech companies. Imagine what would happen if your Facebook group was called something like, I don't know, it could be the name of your business if you wanted to, or it could simply be called Sales Recruitment for Tech Companies. And then you start adding people that are tech companies as friends, you invite them to the group, or you can just run ads and invite them to the group, or you can just, from the outreach that you do, indirectly send them content assets that invite them to the group, etc. Chances are that they are going to join because it's intrinsically valuable for them. And that's the whole magic of this equation. So you want to make sure that there's an intention and that there's a micro niche in the group. Like you want to think of your Facebook group as a piece of real estate, okay, guys? Because realistically, that's what it is. It's a place where people can hang out, of course not physically, but they can hang out and they can see different topics that they're interested in. And the group is an actual representation of that. So make sure that there's interest in regards to what the topic of the group is. Now, second thing would be, and this is ideal if you're doing organic, you want to have a lead magnet or an initial push, because you can have the best name on earth that is going to make people go like, wow, this group is for me, right? But in your Facebook banner, you can actually have a lead magnet, or you can add a document or something. Like if you see the case of what we do over here, I say something like, join now to get my training on how to find, hire, and train a $3 per hour VA that books 5 to 6 calls per day. Click here, click button below to join. And this is just like the initial push for people to go like, even if I don't care about Enrique, even if I don't care about the group topic, even if I don't care about anything, I care about that resource, so I want to join. And that's where the magic happens, because then you're going to improve the conversions of the people that join. An example, of course, this isn't, and I'll be honest, like what I'm doing is not even what's optimal, because what's optimal is actually putting the actual physical asset in there. Not physical, but actually showing something that makes it more tangible. For example, this is an asset that we have on how to build wildly profitable Facebook groups. You could add that asset or that ebook in the actual banner. That way, when people go to the Facebook group and they request to join, they go like, wow, like I want that ebook. So it's a little bit more powerful, right? So of course, you want to make sure that you actually create a lead magnet that has something to do with your offer, or that has something to do with the problems of your audience. For example, for example, what we do, or for example, how to get 5 inbound leads from YouTube per day, or how to get 2 to 3 new customers per week. You see, like you want to create a specific lead magnet that solves the problems of your audience, and so that in such a way that they will want to join to your group. So that's the lead magnet or initial push. But that's pretty much on the actual setup of the group. There are going to be some things that are more about the actual strategy that I show my clients. And those things are, for example, having a welcome post. And the welcome post is like the centerpiece to making sure that people start and see you as the authority, and that they are more nurtured than anything else from joining your Facebook group. Because I don't know how many Facebook groups you have joined so far in your life, but most Facebook groups are honestly just a pitch fest. Like you join and you get pitched from the get-go, etc. And of course, we don't want that. What we want is to make sure that people come and feel that they are on a safe zone where they can enjoy and relax and basically learn things when it comes to your specific offer. So let me give you an example. What I like to do on the welcome post is pretty much tell people about what this group is all about, who is this group for, a quick story time about me, what I do, like how I got to where I'm at today. I also have a call to action to our master resource folder that is for everybody that maybe comes from these YouTube videos, for them to actually get the documents, etc. And it's pretty much an entire invitation on what we do, basically. But also you could just make a video welcoming everyone. Like what I'm talking about is that you need a welcome post that shows people what the purpose of this group is, so that they belong to a higher thing than just them. That's pretty much the whole intention. You have a happy picture of you, like, hey, start here, welcome to the group, etc. So that would be step 1. You want to create a welcome post that you tag everybody on once they ask to join. Then you want to ask membership questions. because this is a huge deal, guys. Before people join, if you have a private group, you can set up membership questions so that you can have, well, of course, Facebook does it so that you can control who enters the group and who doesn't. But of course, if we're marketers, we're interested in booking calls, closing deals, and seeing how we can best maximize our marketing efforts, right? So I like to ask the following questions. The first one is, what's your business? Because of course, like I work specifically with coaching, consulting businesses and agencies. I want just to make sure that the people that request to join are one of these. If somebody is looking to join, but they're a VA, of course I don't let them join. That's it, period. Because we also want to preserve the community aspect. Again, required. We specialize in helping agencies in high-ticket info business get pre-sold sales meetings using commission-based VAs, SDRs, etc., etc. If they say yes, guess what happens? I can send them a DM, and 9 times out of 10, those people get converted to book calls on my calendar 24 hours after they join. Okay, that easy. If they say no, just to add them to the group. You just are not pitchy with them. You just tag them on the welcome post and that's it. Maybe you can send them a message and try to book a call from there. But of course, you want to focus on the ones that say yes, okay? Last but not least, you can ask for their email. So you can say something like, what's your best email address so we can send you some private trainings, tools, and resources. They're going to give you their email. And from there, guess what happens? You can do email marketing if you want it. I do it, so I really like asking that question, but in case that you don't, it's not really needed. But hopefully you get my point. Also, here is where the magic happens, and this is how you actually make sure that people, even if they are on a free group, they remember that you have something to sell. And just so you know, there's nothing wrong with selling to your community, because I generally believe that if you have a good product, you could change the life of the people that join your group. You're actually doing a disservice if you don't pitch them, right? So for people that are more interested in that, or that more people that are more interested, or that replied yes to seeing what is it that you do, you can tag them on an offer post, as I like to say. So the offer post will be pretty much, let me just take a look in here. The offer post is pretty much a description on what is it that you do, the problem you solve, and a little bit of how you solve it. And then the people that said yes, you can just tag them in here, and guess what happens? Again, 9 times out of 10, they book a call. And in case they didn't book a call, you can send them a DM. And the beauty is that because this can get pinned over here in the feature section of the group, people, whenever you make a post or whenever they want one of the assets that you're going to be continuously publishing inside of your group, they're going to get reminded about your offer. And maybe today that they joined, they said, hey, no, I don't care about that offer, etc. But 6 months from now, after they consume your content, after they have seen the different things that you have been doing in your Facebook group, they might be like, hey, you know what? Like, wow, I really want to start seeing what this guy is all about. So they might come to this offer posting here and make a comment. And then from there, you can take the conversation and, well, book a call and try to close deals. So this is how you preserve the actual community factor while also making sure that this is a cash printing machine, right? So that will be the next step. Then you also have the guide section, and this is beautiful because what happens with the guide section, I'll be honest, like the guide section is super important because yeah, you can do whatever you want, honestly, but for example, I have one guide that is about the community's basic info, so it's a welcome post. I could have, for example, the offer posting here, etc. You can have another guide that is about the free resources and tools. So in the welcome post, you ask your leads or the new members to go and watch the guide section. They can be like, oh, let's look at the free resources. And they might be like, oh, recruiting VAs and sellers. I am interested in that. And they leave a comment. You see, like it's always a machine that does the work for you. Of course, I highly recommend that if you actually have case studies and have been able to deliver great results to your customers, you can have one guide that is all about client and expert interviews. So they go like, wow, it's incredible what this guy has done so far, etc. That's the goal of the community funnel. And a pro tip is actually using the feature section, like I'm showing you here, because you can have the guides over here and people can save this spot over there for them to see like all of the different categories inside. But the beauty with the feature section is that if they're on the home screen, they're always going to get reminded about your offer and, well, in my case, the master resource folder. So whenever they feel like it, they can just go and watch this. What I try to make with my Facebook group is that this is pretty much like a Crunchyroll for agencies and coaches. Because, well, Crunchyroll is for you anime lovers. I hope that there's at least one of you. I love anime. So Crunchyroll is a platform where you watch anime. The idea that I have with my Facebook group is that my Facebook group is like a Crunchyroll, but for marketers. Meaning that people want to come and be able to watch all of the exclusive content and basically enjoy what I have in stock for them inside of the group. That's the goal with these groups anyways, to actually create a centralized hub where you basically focus all of your marketing efforts, okay? So that would be it in regards to the setup and basic structure. And the next stage, once you have the right setup for your group, is actually growing your group, okay? And of course, there are a couple of options. The first one is organic growth, and the second one is paid growth. I'm going to focus specifically on organic because I think that is more than enough. And honestly, the whole purpose of this community funnel is just one of the pillars of what I do what we do at Roiland with our offer. So let's focus on organic growth. There are a couple of ways in which you can grow your group, right? So the first one is by literally inviting them to the group. So for example, if every day you add, I don't know, let's say 25 or 30 Facebook friends so that you can start conversations with them, you can literally come to the invite button in here, invite Facebook friends. What is going to happen is that this is automatically populated by the newest friends that you have. So what you can do is literally just invite all of the new friends in here, boom, 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 everyone. And let's say that you have 50 new friends. Out of those 50, if everything is optimized, both in the name, in the banner, and everything, let's say that 20 join. And then that's how you every single day join your group organically, which is great. The second one is you can traffic all of the different channels in which you do marketing to the group. So for example, you go to my Twitter profile, you're going to notice that my actual banner sends people to my free Facebook group, okay? And then my actual link, again, sends people to my free Facebook group. And then it's just like a winning scenario because every single time that somebody comes to my profile, they might want to join. Same thing goes for LinkedIn, etc. YouTube organic, and this is of course the best of both worlds because first of all, if somebody discovers your YouTube and they watch your content, they're going to get nurtured because they're immediately going like, wow, I'm interacting with this guy, I know him, I like him, I trust him. They start consuming even more content. Then they ask to join the group, and because they ask to join the group, it's even more inbound because they are going to give you an answer to the yes or no questions. And once they give you those answers, you get a point. You can book calls with them, or you cannot book calls with them if they didn't want it to. But again, this is the best way to grow it. And last but not least, inbound prospecting. For those that are new to the channel, well, inbound prospecting is our unique methodology to book calls and the one that we shoot for clients. So what we do is that we place a VA and SDR to do 100 to 150 outreaches per day per VA, per platform. So what you do is that you offer YouTube organic content to people in the initial prospecting. Then out of 150 messages that every VA is going to send, approximately 10% of those people reply positively. Those people that reply positively, you add it to the CRM, and then you give them the actual YouTube content, and the YouTube content itself sends people to the Facebook group, okay? But of course, the beauty is that regardless of the platform, you can start a conversation with them over here in order to book calls. So yeah, these two are the best ways to build your Facebook group, and that's how we've been able to grow it without me having pretty much any follower anywhere to this amount of people, 1,457. So yeah, in regards to paid growth, it's really simple. It's just you run an ad that sends people to a landing page. In the landing page, you want to give people a lead magnet. And then in the thank you page of the lead magnet, you say, hey, thank you for getting your lead magnet. You're going to get it in your email. By the way, I made a video mini course inside of my Facebook group where you can consume this same asset, but in video format. Then a percentage of those people ask to join. So that's how you maximize the paid growth. So yeah, that will be it for the growth aspect. Now, let's start talking about how to engage with your community because yeah, monetizing is where the money is made, but in the engaging part is where the hearts are won or where people fall in love with you, okay? So the way you engage with people is by, well, of course, you want to have an admin setup in the sense that, yeah, you want to tag people in the welcome post so that they know what the intentions of the group are. You might want to set up everything like we just discussed, but that's like just how you engage with people. But the biggest factor is the content marketing strategy. What I like to say, guys, is that when it comes to the content marketing strategy, you want to follow a rule that I created that is 75 to 25% rule. And what this means is that if in the social media platforms that you have, for example, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it might be, you are always making 25% content that is about your offer or about how to solve problems, and 75% of content that is more about who you are and about what you believe and what your character is all about, you want to do the opposite on the group. In the Facebook group, you want to create 75% of content that is useful for the community. You want to give resources, trainings, etc. And you want to do only 25% of content of what you are as a human being, what you believe, and who you are. And this content marketing should be a combination of authority posts, action posts, character type of posts, and affinity type of posts. Because what matters with authority is that they build trust in you as the leader. The action post, of course, well, action. So it's like, hey, who wants to work with me, basically. Character is about they liking you as a person. And then affinity is more about them resonating or liking you as a human being and actually liking the way you do business, okay? So you want to have a good combination of these posts every single week, both in your Facebook group funnel or in your community funnel, and also on your personal profiles. Of course, I don't want this video to be all about content marketing, but it's about how you can centralize and nurture the leads that are already in your group, okay? And trust me, what I prefer to do is just create 1 to 2 YouTube videos per week, so that we can grow that inbound traffic machine. I repurpose that to the Facebook group, so I don't really have to think that much about it. Sometimes I might do 1 or 2 posts per week, specifically just for the Facebook group, so that everybody gets nurtured. But realistically, I focus just on the YouTube content. And last but not least, you want to also create a culture. Because, for example, you want to invite people to actually create posts and engage with others, because that not only allows for more people to know, like, and trust you, but it also reminds more people about you and your offer. So, for example, you join the group and you make a post literally telling people about who you are, what you do, and then you, as the actual admin and the creator of the group, you leave a comment, you let everybody know. It starts to create a culture, and people start to go like, wow, man, like, I really like how this guy does this thing, or I really like how this guy does this thing. And if people have questions, you can actually help them out in solving those problems. So that's what makes everybody go like, wow, like, I really trust this person. I really like to be in this place. You see, that's how you go around it. Like, for example, this other day, if this person has a problem, like, hey, how do you find our personal phone numbers? You can actually help them out. Or the other day, this guy, hey, does anybody know an Instagram automation software extension for reaching out? And you can really help them out. And did you see, like, this is how you create a culture, and this is how you get seen as a problem solver instead of just a salesman, basically, right? Last part of the equation is how you monetize the group. And there are honestly 2 components to this. The first one is the appointment setting workflow, and the second one is the action post. Okay, so once per month you can just make an action post, you know, like, hey, I'm looking for XXXX. Of course, that depends on who you're working with, your offer, etc. Who wants to join? And boom, the people that engage and that comment with that, you can send them a DM, and those are the people that are literally just ready to buy, ready to do business with you. And the appointment setting workflow, and that is by literally creating a cadence of when you or your appointment setter needs to reach out to the members of the group. So, like I recommended before, like new members, for example, always people that are engagers of your content. That's another one. People that say yes to wanting more information. People that reply to action posts. Old members, for example, after 1 year, etc. You want to create a cadence of when you want to talk with the people that join the group. And guys, trust me, 20% of people that join our Facebook group book a call with us in the first days after they join. And that's because of the appointment setting cadence. So you combine all of this, content marketing, nurturing, with an appointment setting cadence, with the actual action post, guys, you have a cash printing machine. Before we finish the video, I just want to explain a little bit of our high level strategy. And this is what we do for clients and what we help you guys solve, okay? So we help you guys set up a community funnel, and that's just this element over here is pretty much taking into action everything that I just described in this video. On top of that, we help you create foundational organic content that you can leverage in your outreach in such a way that we get higher conversion from your outbound campaigns, more calls booked, which are, by the way, pre-sold, and better clients. And not only that, these are foundational content that literally destroy the domino beliefs of your prospects and indoctrinate them into your world in such a way that they feel that you are a category of one and the only solution for what they want. And we, of course, do inbound prospecting, which is the process that I was describing. You combine these 3 things, guys, you're going to have more cash than you know what to do with, literally, okay? And the beauty is that the inbound prospecting process sends people to your foundational organic content, plus, of course, books calls. The foundational organic content sends people to your community. And then every time that you post in your community, you let them know about your new foundational organic content. And it's just a winning cycle. Like, you cannot escape it. This is how wealth is created. And if you run a marketing agency or a high-ticket info business, go to a link in the description and book a call, because you're literally 1 step away from literally having more calls than you know what to do with. Our average clients books 4 calls per day for every VA that we place on their business for outreach. Meaning that if you're using Instagram and Twitter, that's pretty much 8 calls per day on average, right? So if you're really wanting more calls, more deals closed, and basically start building your community funnel, go to a link in the description, and see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.